Hey guys, welcome to another Take 5. This video is going to be about blueprint interfaces. Um, a lot of people don't know what blueprint interfaces do and how to use them properly. Take these out of here. And that's because they're kind of strange, and it's weird because if you're familiar with blueprints already and you kind of and you don't know what a blueprint interface is and you're watching this, it's kind of you're probably excited because you're going to learn now. But the it's I know it's confusing because when you go to set up or use a blueprint interface, you might have made a blueprint interface in your editor as a file, and then you were just trying to figure out like, how the heck do I get this thing to actually do what it's supposed to do when I call the event, right? So I'm going to kind of describe it here. So we're going to go back in here and we're going to create what's called a blueprint interface right here. We're going to go blueprints and then blueprint interface. I'm not going to name it because I don't have time. And so what happens is you get one of these when you open it up. You get one of these. It's like a function, but you can't do anything. You can't call. You can't do anything, right? So what am I doing, right? So let's just name it some function. And what happens is a lot of times when you want to do stuff like pass information from one class to another, you were probably doing it by hand, passing variables, passing references, and so but when you want to do something that doesn't really have anything to do with that class, it just needs to know when something happens so it can run some event. An interface is really good for that. So the interface is like, let's just say we're not even going to pass any information. It's let's just do it without passing information. So let's go to our blueprint that we want to pass the information or that we want to call it from. And so actually no, never mind. First let's have uh, another blueprint here. And on this blueprint, let's just say this is blueprint number 2, and this blueprint is the one that's going to call an event when blueprint number 1, does something, um, and wants to let it. So blueprint number 1 is going to let blueprint number 2 know when to do something, right? So what you do here is you go to the class settings, go into interfaces right here, and you're going to click on the add, and you have to go down to new interface, which is the one we created. If it was you named it differently, that's what you would look for. So, but because that is there, now we can go in and go event um, some function. So now we have a new event that will fire when somebody calls it from another class. And so in order to do that, you go back to a different class. I just have this class and that class. I don't have any others open right now. So let's just say on event begin play, we're going to delete all this, get rid of all this. And let's just say that on event begin play, we wanted to call and tell that interface or tell that other blueprint that we just started and we're doing something now, right? So let's just go first things first. We want to do something called a get all actors of class, or sorry, wrong. Get all actors with interface, right? So all actors with interface. And you wouldn't want to call this from a tick. Maybe you could do stuff like like basically from like event begin plays, other events that are going to call at one time. So then we want to get new. We want to get our blueprint. No, sorry. We want to find our interface, which I think mine is new interface. New interface, right? So we're going to look for all the actors that are currently using that interface, and we're going to go for each. If there's more than one, and you know that there's more than one, you can use a for each. This is a for loop. I'll have to explain these later in another video. Um, but actually, yeah. So anyway, um, and basically you're going to call that function on what was it on some function? Was it some function? Yeah, we just call some function. So the message gets called right here. So now in this actor, we're grabbing all of the actors with that interface, and we're telling them all to call that function event, and they're gonna all call it right then and there. So you could go back to your other blueprint. Now whatever you're doing off of this is gonna happen as soon as you as soon as you call that. So um, this could be really handy. You can use this a lot, and you can. I mean, it's really good for doing things like just changing lights, and you doing anything, setting materials based off of something that happens in another class or whatever. Um, very very useful little thing here. It's not something that you can use in C++, that I know of, but it's really handy in Blueprint. So take advantage of it. Anyway, um, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up and call that one good. So thanks for watching, guys.